The dollar doesn't stay powerful because it's strong. It stays powerful because it's required. That's the part most people miss. For decades, one system quietly held everything together. Not politics, not markets, energy, oil. Because as long as the world needed oil, and oil was priced in dollars, the dollar wasn't just a currency, it was a necessity. But what happens when that necessity starts to change? Not collapse. Shift. Slowly. Strategically. Quietly. And almost nobody is paying attention. Pause. The global economy doesn't run on money. It runs on energy, factories, transportation, supply chains. Everything depends on it. And for years, one unspoken rule dominated that system. If you want oil, you use dollars. That's how demand was engineered. Not forced, built into the structure itself. Short line, energy created currency demand, and currency demand created power. Now here's where the tension begins. That structure is starting to loosen. Not publicly, not dramatically, but through small, deliberate moves, bilateral agreements, alternative settlement systems, energy trades in different currencies. At first it looks insignificant. A few deals here, a few changes there, but systems don't break all at once. They weaken at the edges, and over time, edges become cracks. Let's go deeper. Why does this matter so much? Because the dollar's dominance isn't just about being widely used. It's about being unavoidable asterisk. When countries needed dollars to buy oil, they held dollar reserves. They traded in dollars. They saved in dollars. It created a loop, a self-reinforcing system. But if oil starts being traded in multiple currencies, that loop starts to change. Short interruption. Not instantly, but directionally. And direction is everything. Because once there's an alternative, monopoly fades, not disappears, but weakens. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people think currency power is permanent. It feels stable, reliable, unshakable. But history doesn't support that. Power shifts. Always. And it rarely announces itself. It transitions. Quietly. Let's layer this deeper. Countries aren't making these changes randomly. They're responding to incentives, reducing dependency, increasing flexibility, protecting their own systems. It's not rebellion, it's strategy. And strategy doesn't need headlines, it needs time. Now think about the ripple effect. If fewer countries need dollars for energy, demand decreases. Not dramatically at first, but consistently. And when demand shifts, value adjusts. That doesn't mean collapse. It means erosion. Gradual. Persistent. Hard to notice until it's significant. Short line. You don't feel the shift at the start. You feel it when it compounds. Now let's bring it closer to you. Because this isn't just about governments and global trade. It's about what backs the system you rely on. Your savings, your income, your purchasing power, all tied in some way to the strength of the dollar. So if the foundation shifts, even slightly, everything connected to it moves. That's the part people ignore. They focus on headlines, interest rates, inflation numbers, market swings. But underneath all of that, there's a deeper layer. Structural change. And structural change moves slower, but hits harder. Let's interrupt again. This isn't about panic. It's about awareness. Because while most people react to visible changes, a smaller group watches the invisible ones. They track direction. They notice patterns. They understand that systems don't need to collapse to lose power. They just need to become less essential. And once something becomes optional, its influence declines. Now here's the contrast. On one side, people who assume nothing will change. They operate the same way, think the same way, plan the same way. They trust stability. On the other side, people who recognize the shift early. They don't overreact. They adjust. They understand that wealth isn't just about earning, it's about positioning within changing systems. Short line: positioning beats prediction. Every time. Because you don't need to know exactly how the future plays out. You just need to recognize where the direction is heading. And right now, the direction is diversification. Away from single dependency, toward multiple options. And when that happens, power redistributes. Quietly, strategically, inevitably. So ask yourself, if oil no longer anchors the dollar the way it used to, what replaces that demand? And if nothing fully replaces it, what happens over time? Sit with that. Because the answer isn't immediate. It unfolds. And those who understand it early don't just react to the shift, they position themselves within it. Everyone else? They notice it after it's already changed their reality. If this changed your perspective, subscribe. Because the next video might show you where the shift is heading before it becomes obvious.